Good evening, viewer. Welcome to the Legislator 5. I am Chukwuemeka Modelem. With me in the studio this evening is a gentleman to the core, a quintessential lawmaker, a man who has come to change the narrative of his constituency so that his constituents will enjoy effective representation. I'm talking about Honorable Tony Moubike, the member representing the good people of Agwata 2 constituency in the Anambra State House of Assembly. Honorable, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Let's go straight to business. Honorable, tell us more about yourself.
Like I already said, my name is Honorable Tony Moubike. I'm the member representing the people of Agwata 2 constituency in the Anambra State 8th House of Assembly. Talking more about myself, I was trained in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, as a medical radiological scientist. I had my youth service. After my graduation in Lagos, I worked with the Lagos State Hospitals Management Board. After that, I opened my company, Paramedics Diagnostic and Pharmaceuticals Limited in Lagos. I ran that business as the CEO up until 2006 when I decided to join politics. So 2006, 2007, up until now, I've been in the political terrain.
Okay, Honorable, thank you so much for that brief introduction. Viewer would like to know what informed your decision to represent, the people of Agwata 2 constituency in the State House of Assembly.
I come from a relatively small community, from one precise. Ever since the inception of democracy, I would say, my community has not had a representative in the Anambra State House of Assembly. We haven't had a senator, we haven't had a member of the House of Rep. So that situation actually irked my interest in politics. And then, that made me to start looking at the political terrain, not only in Agwata 2 constituency, but in the whole of Anambra State. At the time, in 2006, when I made that decision to join politics, I felt there was need for young people, old people, everybody to be involved in politics. Because to me, politics is a place where everything makes sense. And when I talk about making sense, I'm talking about where decisions that has to do with people's lives are taken. In the political realm is where these decisions are made, how people's lives are run, and I felt that it is, if I joined politics, I could make a very positive impact in the lives of my people, the people of Agwata 2 constituency. That informed my decision to join politics.
Yeah, Honorable, from your explanations, it appears you know why the good people of Agwata 2 constituency sent you to the State House of Assembly. At this point, we would like to know, the three major responsibilities of the legislature. Why are they there, sir?
Yeah, the three major responsibilities of the legislature is 1, representation, 2, legislation, like the name implies, legislature, and 3 is oversight. When you talk about representation, your own constituency sends you to the House of Assembly to be their mouthpiece. You're going there in trust for the people. You're not going there to say what you want. You're going there to say what the people want you to say. You're going there to be their mouthpiece, not only just saying it there, consulting with them, knowing what they want, going there, saying it, and then coming back. So it's a place where you go, you come, through town hall meetings or whatever you want, you consult with the people, get a feedback, and then go back, and that is representation. Legislation is the function of making laws, which actually is the principal function of the legislature. They make laws for the good of the state. And then oversight. The legislature performs oversight function on the other arms of government, especially the executive. That oversight, sometimes some people misunderstand it. It has nothing to do with fight. Okay. It's supposed to be a seamless process. It's supposed to be a process that involves synergy between the legislature and the executive and also the judiciary. So it's just trying to make sure that what is being done is what should be done. And these are the three functions of the legislature.
Yeah, Honorable, the 8th Assembly, of which you're a member, has worked for over 1 month now. I would like to know, especially your constituents, what you've done so far for them.
Like you know, the 8th Assembly commenced officially on the 12th of June, 2023. That was the day inauguration took place. After the inauguration, the sitting for plenary was adjourned up until the 11th of July, which is actually this week. Because of the ongoing construction work going on in the House of Assembly complex, the sitting on the 11th of July we couldn't take all the motions they're supposed to be taken, so only one motion was taken that day, and then we adjourned again to resume next week, Tuesday. But that being said, I had hit the ground running because, like I said earlier, it's not just about legislation. Part of the work is oversight, and part of the work is representation. That representation involves a lot of consultation. So in the weeks of June and some weeks in July, I immediately commenced consultation with my people, and that had involved me going back to my constituency, first of all to consult with the people, the traders who are involved in the ongoing construction of the Ekulobia flyover bridge.
That's good.
And the international standard motor park being built by our governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo. Obviously, when such projects are being constructed, people will feel the impact. People along who have been doing business along the path of that project. So, as being my constituent, I had to go to see how they are doing, how the project is impacting them, and also to see how the project is going. We did that, it was successful, the people were happy. I also consulted with the traditional rulers of Agota 2 constituency. They are the royal fathers. They were there when we went for an election, they supported us, and then I had to go pay homage to them and then seek their support, not just to the party, but to the government of Professor Chukwuma Soludo, because they represent the leaders of the grassroots, the people in the towns that make up my constituency. I also have held meetings with the councillors of my constituency. Those councillors represent the different wards in the local government. So for my constituency, I had a meeting with them. It was supposed to be a thank you meeting and also a wake-up call for them to keep up the work they are doing. They are doing very good works, by the way, but to get them to keep up the work they are doing and to try and build this synergy that I keep talking about. Because for success to be, struck, there has to be synergy between everybody, everyone working. So, it's been very busy 1 month, I would say, for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Moubike. That shows you came prepared. You know why the good people of Agota 2 constituency, sent you to the State House of Assembly. It is our belief that you will be consistent. You will continue to do that which they sent you there. The viewer out there would like to know, share with us your personal philosophy about lawmaking. Yes,
my philosophy about lawmaking, it's about the people it revolves around the people. Laws are made for the people. And they have to be positive laws. They have to be good laws. Because whatever you have done in governance and in government, if it doesn't impact positively on the people, then it's not worth it. So for me, my philosophy about lawmaking is about the people. And how do you achieve it to make it really about the people? It's about consultation and research, which I've been doing a lot. And that is why in governance, the state has been divided into constituencies. Yes. So that each constituency sends a representative to go there and represent them in the process of lawmaking. So, if you as the representative doesn't consult with the people, you can never make a good law there. If you don't make research, because apart from representing your people, you also partake in the process of drafting bills and laws that will affect people around the whole state.
That's right.
Okay, so you have to also research and understand what is happening around the state. For instance, I'm from Agwatatu constituency, but I have to understand and know what is happening in Onitsha, both Metropolis, Anambra North, Anambra Central. I have to understand so that when bills that has to do with those places are called upon in the House, I should be able to make very good contributions, not for myself, because it's not a selfish process, for the good of the people of the entire Anambra state. And most importantly, lawmaking has to be such that it makes governance easier, because the function of government is to provide those dividends of democracy to the people. So if you understand that, then you have to know that lawmaking has to be a process that helps the executive, because the executive has a function of executing whatever laws that have been enacted by the House. So for that to happen, lawmaking has to involve a process of synergy between the three arms of government: the legislature that actually makes those laws, the executives who also partakes in making the law, because we have executive bills coming to the House, and then the judiciary that has to eventually interpret those laws in a situation where there's a quagmire. So it involves the people, and then those involving the people means understanding what the people want and doing it in a way that is timely and that will be helpful for the executive to deliver on the promises that have been made to the people.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
For me, the people of Agwatatu constituency, they did not just send you to the State House of Assembly, just to go there and represent them. There must be reasons why they did that. Can you let us into your manifestos, which endeared, you to the people of Agwatatu constituency?
Yes, at this point, I will start by thanking the people of Agwatatu constituency who understood my manifesto, who read through them, and who felt that this is exactly what they needed, and that was why they voted me to go and represent them. So my manifesto is not so complex. Like I said, my manifesto is about the people. First of all, the first part of my manifesto was the purpose-driven part to make and enact people-oriented bills in the House of Assembly. And what do I mean by people-oriented bills? Bills that actually goes to the nerve of the want of the people. For instance, in Agwatatu constituency where I come from, there's lots of ecological problems. You have erosion menace, you have gully erosion taking place in Ekulobia, in Swafia, and other places. In Umona, where I come from, you have gully erosion in all those places. These things that affect the people have to reflect in the law you make in the House, so as to enable government to come and try and ameliorate in whatever form these problems, and help the people to continue with their lives, everyday lives. So enacting people-oriented bills involves understanding what the people are suffering every day and trying to enact bills that will help to mitigate these problems and get the people to live very good lives. That's one. Two, in my manifesto is youth empowerment. I've lived in Canada. So, in the developed world, most of the policies that government drives actually revolves around the youth, because the youth represent the future. They understand that very well. In Africa, most African economies today too, that happens also. So for me, youth empowerment is very important, because empowering the youth now equips the society with those people that will be there tomorrow, that will run the economy, everything you think of. And how do you empower the youth? Education. So I told them, I am going to create a situation where we get people that will provide scholarship to the people. How do we provide scholarship to the people? Is it me? No, I don't have the resources. Is it the government? No, the government will also be there when they are able, but we're not going to pack everything onto the government. So what did I propose in my manifesto? I'm going to draw a committee. This committee will go to the different wards that make up my constituency. And their task is simple. Identify indigent students who are smart, but they don't have people to sponsor them. And then we also identify philanthropists and then ask them to do what? To sponsor a youth. It's like adoption. Adopt a child. So we're not asking you to give us money. No, don't give us money. Just adopt a child. So you look at it and say, okay, I'm going to pick this child and train him or her from maybe secondary school to university, and that's all. You pay his school fees. We are just there to facilitate that process up until he or she graduates. So I think when people looked at that, they found that they were actually impressed with that model. And they felt, yeah, this is what we want. People were actually impressed. As I speak with you now, we already have many people who have expressed interest to do that. We also talked about corporate social responsibility. We have, in Aguata where I come, we talk about urban. So we have a lot of corporate entities that operate there. We have banks, we have other big corporations. We have to get them to get involved in corporate social responsibility. They choose what they want to do. Scholarships, fine. Startup programs for maybe youths that want to start up business, fine. Today, the government of Professor Chukuma Soludo has gone far in delivering the One Youth, Two Skill program and is actually paying dividends. Are we going to leave everything for the government? No. So if we get these corporations to key into these programs, that will be very good for our people. So I'm already talking to these corporations in my constituency, and when the time is right, we make it open to the people. Remember, in our local government, we have the best local government chairman in Anambra State. He has been driving these youth programs, and I'm so happy about it, and I'm so proud of him, Dr. Moubike. And what it means right now is that we are going to work together to ensure that we provide these opportunities for our youth. So, another thing that endeared the people in my manifesto is support for Mr. Governor. Mr. Governor, who is doing so well and who we are proud of, is from my constituency. So my constituency, we are so proud of Professor Chukuma Soludo. And that thing I wrote there in the manifesto is that I, in the House of Assembly, will ensure that I convince my colleagues, because in the House of Assembly is about conviction, is about lobbying. So the Eighth Assembly has already decided that we are going to support Mr. Governor. And that support we're going to give him is going to ensure that all the legislative bottlenecks are removed. He's going to have a seamless run as the Executive Governor of Anambra State.
Okay, Honorable, thank you so much for doing justice to that question. Yeah. Let's look at the relationship between the executive and legislative arms of government. Sometimes, the two appear to be, fighting for who is superior to, the other. How do you think they are supposed to, work, relate? How are they supposed to work together for accelerated development of Anambra State?
The word is synergy. That's the word, synergy. There has to be synergy between the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. These are the three arms of government. There should be no quarrel, there should be no fighting. I've said it before. And fortunately, the 8th Assembly, of which I am proud of and I'm part of, had made it very clear that they are there to function in synergy with the executive. And that is how I personally think it should be done. So if we have executive bills coming to the House, we look at those bills for their merit. If they are what the people want, we try and give them accelerated passage. And if we found out that there are areas that we can tweak them to make them better for the people, we do that. Okay? So the idea is to make everything timeous, because timeous passage of bills helps the governor and the executive to run seamlessly and deliver the dividends to the people. So the word is synergy.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Tony Moubike. We've had it all from the quintessential lawmaker. From what he has told us, he came prepared. He really understands why the people of Agota 2 constituency sent him to the Anambra State House of Assembly, and he has begun, to discharge his responsibilities. It is our expectation that at the end of his stay at the House of Assembly, that he will change the narrative of Agota 2 constituency, and as well as write, their destiny. At this point in time, you will have to end this program as time is no longer in our favor. Join us same time next week for another edition of the program. But before we do that, Honorable, what's your message to the good people of Agota 2 constituency, in the Anambra, and Governor Chukwuma Soludo?
My message to the good people of Anambra State, especially to the good people of Agota 2 constituency, is to keep giving support to the governor, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo. What he has done so far in just over 1 year in office is just mind-blowing. He has changed Anambra State for good. The level of construction going on, over 300 kilometers of road being done, and several of them already completed. All the medical workers already employed, changing our hospitals from mere consulting clinics to real hospitals, changing our schools to real schools by employing 5,000 teachers. A lot of things he has done in this state. In the area of security, today you can move around Anambra State, unlike what obtained just a year ago. Today we can move around Anambra State. I agree that there is more work to be done, and that is why government is there. And that is why he's working every day round the clock to make sure that you sleep with your eyes closed. What do you have to do? What you have to do is just to support him. Let us pray for him. Us in the House of Assembly, we have to be there for you, the people, to do what you want us to do, which is to enact your bills that are people-oriented and to support the government. Government is for all of us. And finally, my constituents, in the Agota 2 constituency, I urge you to keep praying for our son, the governor. If you look at what he's doing in Agota 2 constituency today, the flyover bridge being constructed in Ekwulobia is massive, massive and quintessential, and other work he's doing for us. We thank God for having this man, and I'm sure Anambra State will be better. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Tony Moubike. With that, we have come to the end of today's edition of the program, the Legislator File. Join us sometime next week for another edition of the program. I remain your host, Chukwuemeka Modelem, saying bye for now.